Tonight's top story, an outrageous sentence for a horrifying crime. Earlier today, 65-year-old John Leonard McKean was sentenced to just 2 years in prison. Last March, McKean was found guilty of sexually assaulting a teenage boy who was chained up and held captive in a remote cabin in Nova Scotia for days. The boy escaped and was found half naked in the woods, told police he'd been chained up and assaulted by 3 men. The mother of the victim spoke out today saying, "Not only did you rape a young boy, you raped his body, you raped his soul, you raped his future, and that is something that cannot be fixed. And I am left trying to pick up the pieces of his shattered life." Ross McLean joins us now from Toronto on this. Ross, this is one of these ones that makes me shake my fist, shake my head at the justice system. I know this is not the man that kidnapped the boy, but he's still a man that raped the boy in 2-year sentence. Is that justice?
Oh, I think the mother's quote said it the best here. The damage is done, Brian. The damage is done for a lifetime. And what I don't think that this sentencing reflects is the amount of damage that's being done to this boy's life by this act. And, you know, when we go to court these days, we are too quick to start from the lowest possible minimum sentence and try and hang on to all of the mitigating factors that we can. But look at this guy. Has no remorse. He showed no emotion at his sentencing, Brian. He didn't plead guilty to this. He had the boy have to testify to go through it. His testimony was significantly different from what the boy gave because he was trying to mitigate what he had done. And it seems that the Crown, who asked for this lenient sentence, was fine with that instead of asking for more.
Yeah, well, the Crown only asked for 2 years. I want to read a quote from the Crown right now, though, because it seems at odds, in my view, with what they asked for. Crown attorney said, "Just the age of the youth, the disparity in ages, the fact that it was under horrendous circumstances, that he knew what was going on, that it had been prearranged, it was all atrocious." That's Lloyd Tancock, the Crown attorney. So if you think it's all atrocious, why are you just asking for 2 years?
Yeah, I don't get that, because we've seen in other parts of Canada, you'll get sentences of 4 years for first-time offenders, which, by the way, I don't know that you should just get a pass on offenses like this because it's your first time caught. You know, normally what happens with sexual offenses, only about half of them get reported, only about half of those that get reported get charged, and only about half of those get convicted. So the fact that it's your first time to the dance being convicted, I don't know that that should score you points saying you're some kind of person who deserves the breaks.
Now, I want to show you both John Leonard McKean and the man that, show both of them what's going on here. John Leonard McKean found guilty of sexual assault and communication for the purpose of obtaining sexual services from a person 18. He remained free on bail until this past Tuesday, sentenced to 2 years plus probation of 3 years. Now, David James LeBlanc, he's the one that was actually charged with kidnapping, forcible confinement, sexual assault, uttering threats, and breach of conditions. He got 11 years. I'm not sure either one of them. When you chain somebody up in a basement and invite other people by to rape them, I don't know that even 11 years is a suitable sentence.
You know, I looked at that as well. It's 11 years, and that was on a plea. He pled, so he got the 11 years. But as you say, Brian, does it get much worse than luring an innocent boy who's looking for a job, taking him, kidnapping him, chaining him, raping him for 10 days and bringing other people in to make use of him? I mean, my question is this. What would have happened to that boy had he not escaped? Do we really think in our heart of hearts and our mind of minds that their intention was just to let this boy go who could identify them? I don't know. I think this was about as bad as it gets. And the sentence, I think, should reflect that. In 11 years, hey, he's only going to do 2/3 of that before he's up for parole.
And then he's out earlier if he's on good behavior. And, well, he pled guilty and so on and so on. It's frustrating, but I don't know what to do other than mandatory minimums, which the justices don't like. This is why they end up with them, though.
Well, you know, sentencing is supposed to be an art, and we always hear about judges want to have the options and the ability to do things. Well, why not use the ability here to say, you know what, mister, I don't believe your stuff the way you're mitigating, saying you didn't do anything. What you did was horrendous, what you stole from this boy. We're giving you 10 years. We're giving you 10 years because there's no way I don't believe that you didn't know what you were doing when you went to a shack in the woods and paid cash for 15 minutes for a boy who's chained to a bed that you didn't know what was going on. Why didn't the judge come out and use their discretion that way in this one?
Not a strong enough denunciation. Ross, good talking to you. Better terms next time.